just got an information that we are live. It's actually very difficult to host a webinar with two participants sharing their screens. So we don't have the ongoing access to YouTube. So we don't see your reactions. Also, we have great marketing specialist from BitBag that is telling us what is going on. So happy to see you guys. I'm Tim from Sylius. I'm the new business lead in our company. And I'll be happy to lead this webinar together with BitBag, that is actually hosting this webinar. And I'm here with Marcin Czech. Hello, Martin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Martin. I work at BitBag. I'm head of digital experience. I will have a presentation about progressive applications today. But before that, Timo is taking control with his presentation about Sylius.
Okie dokie. So, Martin, if you could be so and give me the possibility to actually access my slides. Thank you. I'm not sure how many of you are there, but I would just like to say that I'm happy to be here with you. I know our community is growing, and there was a huge interest in the upcoming release. This is our idea for the agenda. So shortly, I would start with Sylius 1.8 release teasers. There are some tiny UI and UX improvements. Some are contributed by community. We do not have too much time to share all of them because we will be going towards PWA and API, which is the key point of the new release, because the product catalog, cart, and checkout will be fully covered with the new API platform, which we call Unified API for Sylius. And then Martin will do his part about PWA and why it's great when replatforming. We will talk shortly about what are the possibilities to use PWA with Sylius right now, and what are the other tools out there in the ecosystem. And finally, View Storefront plugin, which is for now the best way to implement PWA solutions with Sylius. And lastly, we will answer your questions. So please feel free to post anything you like on chat. It can be a comment that I should smile. It's also fine. Okay, going further. I'm not sure how many of you know Sylius. I assume that most of you are familiar with us already. But here is a nutshell of where we are regarding some numbers. There are around 2,500 production websites all over the world, mainly in Europe. France is our biggest market due to Symfony origins. This is quite logical. Recently, we have broken 1,100 daily installations, which is huge, and 10 million Sylius packages overall. By package, we mean everything Sylius related. It can be a bundle that is not the Sylius standard, but it is being used by the community. A lot of translators, growing number of developers on our Slack, 600 contributors. I think we're missing just one, and almost 6,000 GitHub stars, which makes us the third PHP commerce among devs after Magento and WooCommerce, and we're very happy about it. But to the topic of the webinar, I would like to start shortly about our approach. We have always been trying to be transparent, not only in developing our product, but also with our structure. That's why we included holacracy as a framework for managing people and the organization. But this is completely different topic for a long coffee or beer. But also we are transparent about roadmap. And if you go to our website, you can easily find it, both for standard and plus editions. And the same goes for the demo. The fact is that legacy giants like Magento don't really even host their own demo. You can see both the current edition and the upcoming edition. This is very easy to find also the premium edition of Sylius, as well as the API efforts with new API platform upcoming. So all credentials are there, easy to be found. If you go to sylius.com/demo, you can have an access yourself and click through our applications, no problem. And if you are already in the public Sylius standard demo, in the bottom right corner, you can switch to the upcoming release features. And one of this feature, so this is the promised preview, is the reporting essential, simply sales charts with timeframes. Before, it was not possible to select a specific day, week, or month to see the traffic or the sales in your e-commerce website. Right now, with 1.8, it will be possible. Maybe a small change, but this is what really makes e-commerce. These dashboards that you can see, and you can decide whether to change your strategy in different channels, because in for example in Plus Edition you can switch in between channels and check how your different sales channels are performing. Another thing is product filtering by channel. Small UI UX change, but very useful if you have more channels. I know that there are around 80 plus channels implementations in different Sylius implementations all over the world. I am very curious, what is the biggest number of channels ever used in Sylius implementations? If you know and you want to share, that would be great to know, but this will help finding specific products in specific channels for sure. And I think this is actually the biggest change apart from the API that I will speak in the last place. PayPal commerce platform. For years, we only had PayPal Express Checkout. It is like forever with us, but it's very basic PSP. Recently, we have announced the strategic Molly integration, but it's a plugin, not installable with Sylius Standard package. And PayPal Commerce Platform will be installable with Sylius Standard as the core payment service provider. What will be included? Smart buttons like instant PayPal checkout that you can see, for example, in this screenshot. Of course, please remember this is work in progress. But I would like you to already have some imagination of what you can get within this solution. All alternative payment methods popular in Europe, also refunds and invoicing. So quite a robust payment solution, and I think this will greatly ease up the entire payment service provider integration setup. And another thing that is quite often asked, at least in the community Slack or various calls with partners and customers, is the road to Symfony 5. We have always been the closest platform to Symfony. We know the Symfony core development team, and we are very proud and happy about it. But it's not so easy to upgrade because Sylius is dependent on other open source libraries, and we are pushing as much as we can. So other contributors and maintainers of different libraries upgrade their libraries, but it's not only dependent on us. If you want to help us, if you can help us, please contribute as always. I think this is the matter of future after 1.8 release for sure. So do not expect the Symfony 5 support in 1.8 release, unfortunately. And another thing, as you probably know, for over a year, we have a premium product called Sylius Plus. And the newest feature that we have just implemented, thanks to great collaboration with one of our enterprise customers from the Netherlands, is the loyalty. So for now, in the Plus demo, which is also publicly available, as you could see on one of the first slides, you can already click through what is there. And what is there? There is loyalty rules that you can establish. So, for example, for every €1 spent in the shop, the customer gets 1 bonus point that he can later change into loyalty purchases. And purchases are as simple as that you can buy a t-shirt with 10% discount if you have gathered, let's say, 100 points. It is all connected to our promotion engine. And the first live usage of this feature will be already in September, hopefully, in the website of the customer that I mentioned. And we're finally getting to the No, not yet. Sorry. Loyalty shop view. This is another thing. What you can see as a customer. So in the My Account section, there is a new bookmark with loyalty. So you can see how many points you have gathered, what you can buy for these points, and you can see all the history of your loyalty transactions. I do encourage you to click it through yourself. As I said, it's publicly available. Okay, time is running fast. And this is the key point of the presentation. So we are going into the API and PWA direction right now. Most of you probably already know this slide. So for around 2 years, we are advertising ourselves as the best of breed, as the e-commerce platform with best of breed ideology and philosophy in mind. And we like to think that we are behind this all-in-one legacy giants that you can see on the left. And here on the another slide, you can see if we zoom in to this best of breed implementation, you could see Sylius is the hard puzzle of the digital pizza, as I once heard from one of our French partners. This is a very nice metaphor, I believe, that because the modern merchants have to have in mind that you have to install or use at least 3 to 5 different applications that are best of breed, so they are best in the specific category: dedicated content management system, dedicated ERP, CMS, and so on and so on. So we were thinking what to do to make. Oh, I'm sorry to see the formatting is is bad here. So let's skip to another slide. We were thinking what to do to make this API part. This was one of the 3 parts on the top of the last slide. To be as supportive as possible for easy integrations with other applications. So what to do to really be the best of breed and really be the first API first e-commerce platform? What I have in mind here is that a lot of modern e-commerce platforms advertise themselves as API first, headless, and so on and so on. Every platform is customizable. So we have to be very careful what we promote, and we have to be very careful what market segment we target. We believe that in mid-market and enterprise market, it is totally normal right now that you have to integrate with other third-party apps. So we were searching for the best solution, and obviously API platform came to our minds because it's the most popular solution in the Symfony ecosystem. There are multiple rationale behind this decision. We even implemented the architecture decision record to be fully transparent about this. You can find it on our blog in the future of API blog post. I will also share this presentation on LinkedIn, so all links will be clickable from there. We always wanted not to reinvent the wheel, and this phrase is also super common, but what does it really mean? The do not reinvent the wheel phrase means that you base on the standards that are battle tested, that are commonly used, and where to search for such standards. Of course, in frameworks that platforms are based on. So Sylius is 100% based on Symfony, as you probably know, and Symfony ecosystem always for the win. This is what we say, and this is something that always helped us and helped us develop a great community, because Sylius code is really the Symfony code. And API platform enables and supports all API types: REST, SOAP, OpenAPI, GraphQL. So it was a pretty logic choice for us. As you can see on this slide, one of the key points is also PWA and mobile-first implementations, because not only admin API, but also shop API, all APIs that Sylius uses will be unified to one API platform format. And I'm slowly going to the end of my part. I just wanted to say that our effort is transparently visible, and there is a special GitHub pull request open to track this effort and to encourage all the community contributors to help us. We are sure that we deliver around 20% coverage, which will include the cart, the checkout, and the product catalog API platform coverage, which are crucial for headless implementations. However, the remaining 80% is a huge effort remaining ahead of us. So we are really counting on your help, because if more of you contribute, then we have sooner the full API platform coverage set up. As I said, API platform is also very helpful for PWA. So far, most of headless implementations use Shop API. I think all of them use Shop API. I know some use Angular, some other React, and some other Vue, whatever front-end framework your developers prefer. However, we are aware of imperfection of the current Shop API solution. So definitely after the release, we will try to share the upgrade path, or better, if you can, please wait this month to the release and start developing your headless Sylius implementation with the new API platform already in place. Because the upgrade, I think you can imagine, is always more costful and takes more time to be done. And finally, the last teaser is that we will launch the Sylius 1.8 with the new website on the 14th of September, which is a day after the International Programmers Day. And what is especially interesting, it will be exactly 3 years after the first 1.0 stable release. So we are getting a little bit nostalgic, but we know it's a huge step forward. This is a teaser of our new website. I think it better reflects what Sylius already is. So API first solution and best of breed solution, or rather what it will be after 1.8 is released. And as always, I hope to see you. Remember to always discuss, contribute, document, translate, make business, and stay tuned with us on on all of our channels. And I would like to give the presentation and the further leading of the webinar to Martin. Thank you very much, and hope to answer your questions on the end.
Thank you, Timo, for the presentation. I hope version 2 will be soon as well. It will be a miracle, I think. I won't take much of your time, as everyone probably wants to eat something. It's a lunchtime already. Let me switch to my presentation. Okay. I suppose you all can see it now. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about progressive web applications. I won't take much of your time, as I said. My goal is to familiarize you at some point with the topic, tell you the basic features, what the progressive web application provide us, what are pros and cons of having that, when do we need it, whether we need it actually. So let's get to the point. Main mission of progressive web application is that on every operating system or application should use its full potential. Many mobile devices to provide functionalities that wouldn't be available on normal website. Its goal is to imitate somehow a native application. The standard provides a great mobile experience right from the browser. It can also be installed on your desktop. I have screenshots I will show you later. It works on both iOS and Android. Offers range of advantages like offline access and high SEO scores due to its speed. But what does it mean? I found a definition that would suit our needs in terms of e-commerce. Progressive web application is a web application designed to use its full potential on mobile devices by imitating a native app. PWA gives us many features. Let me explain one of them. First of which is reliability. Even if you have network problems, the application won't communicate that it lacks internet connection, as for example Google Chrome shows us this dinosaur game. To put it simply, this is possible thanks to the service workers. It's rather technical stuff, but what we need to know about these service workers is that they are some sort of middleman between the application, the local cache layer and the internet. So our application can cache a lot of things. It can on the request when we visit the page, we download as much as we can when we have internet connection, so we can later work offline. We can search some products, we can make some purchases to some point, because we can't make it offline, let's say payments, for example. Second thing is speed. Speed is crucial for every website, especially for e-commerce. Research conducted by Google showed that 53% of users close the page when it loads for more than 3 seconds. Progressive web applications are optimized to download minimum amount of data, and as a result, pages load much faster, even if we have a low quality internet connection. Third thing is the engage. Progressive web application can be installed on mobile devices, as I said, without any need to download them from application store or Play Store. Not sure what's the name of that. So when you visit the progressive web application site using Android devices, because on iOS it still doesn't work perfectly, but it's just a matter of time that it will work like 100% as on Android. So the thing is that Android is quite better at this point. When we visit the page, we can add this website to our screen, and it has some advantages. First of all, if we add this page, we open that later, and we don't see the progress, the URL bar. So it's much harder to escape from the website, so user stays anyway. It has easier access, and it's, as I said, it displays on the entire screen. These features are implemented in a manifest file, and we can specify in this file some stuff like application name, the icon, and the theme colors, and so on. There are also push notifications. They are provided by web push notifications. The most popular is, I think, OneSignal. When we have service workers, when a user makes a purchase, we can, for example, we can make this purchase, and even if we are offline, we can go back to that when we have the good internet connection. Send that to the OneSignal, and OneSignal will notify us. So it is possible to go back to the user when the internet connection comes back. In order to have a fully working progressive web application, we need to meet some requirements, because if we don't, the browser might not identify our website as progressive web app, or worse, we can get lower page score and jump out of a search ladder on a Google searches. We can go to, be a little bit worse. So first and the most important thing is to use a secure connection, which seems quite normal nowadays, but it's good to mention. Sometimes pages still don't have it. So instead of HTTP, we add S as a suffix, and everything works fine. We can't have a proper website if we don't provide the basic security for our users. Also, our application needs to be responsive. Resolution must adjust to user screen regardless of device. Buttons must be clickable on both mouse and a touch screen. And our application must provide at least a minimum offline functionality. What that means? When a user goes offline, at least home page should work, or we can have as well the custom page for that. Our website needs to have separate URL for all sub-pages. It is good for sharing the content across all channels like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and so on. Now let's talk about why progressive web application is better than a native application, because we can say that, okay, I have e-commerce store, I want to have a native application, but it is not common to have that because if we have a native application, we need to create website and the native application. These are two code bases and much more work to do. It is better to have one code base, as we save time while developing this. We can lower our stress because every project can be difficult, and we save money. Second thing is that we don't have to use application store. It is often that when we publish our application on application stores, we need to meet some requirements, and it can be difficult to publish that application as it can be out of some standards. Also, nobody will search for shoes in application store. We look for it on Google. Third thing is quick updates. No one likes to make updates on native application. Progressive web app updates immediately. Once we push something to the website, once we deploy our changes, we simply have it. Progressive web applications, however, have some limitations, which is no access to advanced mobile features. This doesn't affect e-commerce store because those mobile features are, for example, user idle detection, proximity sensor, or NFC payments. But more important thing is that we don't have access to any contacts, calendar, or phone numbers. This can be crucial because it gives us a lot of opportunities to access our customers. There are two available solutions for Sylius, for progressive web applications, one of which is Gatsbylius. This is built by Sylius developer community. It's growing. However, due to strong community on Vue side and huge support, we decided to go for Sylius Starfront. And let me tell you what that is. It is an open source progressive web application ready to use e-commerce frontend, and it can be easily adapted to any needs, and it can be connected to any headless backend. We created some sort of bridge between Sylius and Sylius Starfront, so almost everything works properly. I say almost everything, as our roadmap is to provide the payments. We already have it in one project, but we will publish it in an open source version. These payments will be for Molly, Stripe, and PayPal Express. This solution is fast, as it works on Vue.js, the JavaScript component framework. It has a lot of community, which is relevant for development. It is also SEO optimized due to its speed and offline functionality. Why should we use this Sylius Starfront? It provides us offline functionality such as cart management. We can actually add something to cart when we are offline. We can process the checkout, and we stay at the payment at the moment, but it will be possible when we go back with the internet connection. We can also add some things to wishlist, and out of the box it has a beautiful design that can be easily adapted to something else. Let me show you some screens from this application. The left one is adding the product to wish list. Everything works offline. In the middle, if you go offline, you see the notification that you are offline. Some features might not be available. It's not that we will access all products, because when we enter a website, we need to download them. So if something doesn't have time to download, we won't be able to see it. We won't be able to see, for example, the stock for that. But if we have picture, it will load the page. Also, we can add products to the cart, as you see on the right side. If it comes to Android, we can add the application to the home screen. On the left screen, we can see that there's an option to add to home screen. We can see how it looks on a desktop. And if we enter on the right screen, there is no URL bar. There is just a full-sized application, so it looks like native app. This is all about Vue Storefront. We decided to go for it as it has really strong community. We are partners, so being a partner is a good thing to work on projects with Vue Storefront, because we have impact on what can be done there. If there are some bugs, and it happens on all technologies, we have something to say if something takes time to fix. We also contribute to that, and yeah, that's it. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can mail us, or you can simply write it on the chat. We will see the chat, I think, in a moment. Thank you for now. I'm going back to the camera view, and I think we can start from questions.